So I've had this Ruger 1022 in this Archangel AA556R-EX stock for a couple of years now, and this has actually been a pretty good shooting gun. It's just got a few different upgrades on it, some UTG parts, my traditional M Carbo spring kit, and a Timber Creek magazine release. So, the basic stuff that I usually do to my 1022s. And honestly, I bought this, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago because I wanted an AR style setup and a 22 long rifle. And at the time, I figured this was a better option than buying a 22 conversion kit for an AR because this actually has the right rifle twist in the barrel. And it was like $150 when I bought this stock a couple of years ago. So it does have a heavy barrel in it as well. It's a Keystone Arms micro groove barrel. And this has been a pretty good shooter. I've taken it out to the range quite a few times. It's accurate enough. I never really did any long range accuracy shooting with it. It's been a lot of fun. And again, it's just kind of set up like a plain Jane AR. I did have a red dot on it for a while. Right now, it just has these flip up, backup iron sights. And it's pretty simple. The chassis just bolts onto the receiver using the standard takedown screw and the rail screws on the top of the receiver. And then the top of this thing basically just screws right onto the back. And it's pretty solid. It has very rigid polymer. The butt stock on it is adjustable for length of pull. However, it's a little bit difficult to get it to slide in and out, and the pistol grip on this is non-removable. So it's somewhat customizable, but it's not entirely customizable. And it got me thinking, I thought maybe I wanted to take this chassis off of the receiver, and I found another Butler Creek stock, a folding stock, and I thought it might be cool to stick this thing in there. So it has been a very good shooter. One thing I will say about it, it's a little bit heavy as it's built right now. It's about 7 pounds, 7.5 ounces, which again is good when you're out at the range if you want it to be pretty stable. So as you can see, the added weight on this thing, just even sitting on a bipod bench rest shooting, this rifle doesn't move at all. And I mean, it's a 1022, so it shouldn't move around a whole lot at all anyway. But it is a really stable and nice shooter. Again, low recoil because it's a 1022. But again, after my minimalist 22 videos that I did, I had a viewer say that Butler Creek 1022 folding stocks are great minimalist rifles that would be good for survival, and I agree. So I ended up finding a stainless steel Butler Creek folding stock, and recently I found a black painted one as well. So my thought process was to take this Butler Creek folding stock, take the chassis off of the receiver that I have in here, which is a 50th anniversary edition receiver, and put it on the folding stock. Now, in order to do this, because it has a KSA 920 diameter barrel, I had to basically take the receiver out, and I took a muzzle brake and wrapped it in sandpaper, and it was about the same diameter as the barrel, and I ran it back and forth in the channel on the receiver of the stock so that I could open it up and fit that 920 barrel in there. It took me about 2.5 hours doing it by hand, which sounds ridiculous, but the plastic that's on these things is actually very well built. So after getting this thing all together, it looks okay. Honestly, the barrel is an 18-inch barrel, and I don't really like the 18-inch barrel on this stock. The other issue I had after I swapped everything over, because this barrel doesn't have any sights on it, I would have had to put a rail on there, and the outermost rail screws on the receiver are completely stripped out. So I started thinking about this a little bit more, and I could kind of do one of two things. I could leave it in this stock as it is and get a tap and oversized screw kit and fix the receiver and put a rail on it and run it just like it is, or I can put this whole entire receiver back in the Archangel stock and keep my eyes open for a really inexpensive 1022, or maybe trade for something else to get it. So I'm not exactly sure what route I should go. Give me some feedback. Do you think I should leave it as is in the 1022 Butler Creek folding stock, or should I throw a 16-inch heavy barrel on it now that I've opened up the Butler Creek stock for a heavy barrel, or should I put it back in the Archangel stock? So give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. God bless America. Support your 2A rights. Get out there and shoot. And you remember, if someone asks you to give up some of your freedom for the greater good, remind them that freedom is always the greater good.